What is up, you gorgeous, fabulous creatures, and welcome to another episode of F to Scale Podcast. You're here with Kylie, Australia's emotional eating coach, and I am thrilled and delighted, as always, to be here with you again this week. You know what I'm going to say. If you haven't yet popped on over, please do head over to kyliepax.com/free course, where I'm going to share with you my 4-part video series of how I lost 20 kilos, restored my hormones, got all the shit in balance and kept it off for life. So I want to talk to you a little bit today about the eating codes. I've only discussed them in really at length in one other episode, which was episode number 56. So if you haven't heard them before and after today's episode you want to get more information, you can skip down to episode number 56. And I will also say that you will get them in excruciating detail in the 4-part free video series, which is going to be the best place to get them because I can go into a lot more detail there. But I wanted to talk a little bit about them today because I had a question come through from someone who asked to remain anonymous, and they said that, "Hi Kylie, I'm having a lot of stress over wanting to lose weight quickly, but I know that any option that I choose with quick weight loss is not going to be long-lasting or sustainable weight loss." And this is something that I was talking with one of my fabulous one-on-one private clients about today as well. We were discussing how our brain likes to go back to, well, I just want it to happen really fast. Like, I just want this weight loss to happen quickly so it can be over with and I can sort of, quote unquote, get on with my life. Now, I will say I am a big believer that you can have it all, that you don't have to compromise in life. But I will say when it comes to weight loss, there is no such thing as fast weight loss and simultaneously long-lasting, forever weight loss. They are two polar opposites. You can't have weight loss that skedaddles off your booty in 7 days or less, or 30 days or less, or whatever it is that you're doing, and have that stay off your butt forever. You know, I've told you the story multiple times, it's like painful now, about the juice fast that I did, the 40-day juice fast. I mean, there was 40 days, I lost a whole bunch of weight. It did not stay, it couldn't stay gone. Of course, that was a ridiculous method to use. And today with my beautiful private client, we were talking about shakes, doing shakes. I was gonna say juice fast. No, that's what I did. We were talking about meal replacement shakes. And what if I just did that and then I could get it over with? And what I said to her was, you can't do the right thing and get a wrong result, because she was concerned, what if I go ahead and I use the eating codes, but it doesn't work? Here's what I want to say to you on that. You can't do the right thing and get a wrong result. You can't possibly follow your body's intuitive signals. So when I give you the eating codes, you'll understand we're eating ever so slightly less. Potentially, you might be eating the right amount right now, but probably eating ever so slightly less because your body doesn't need usually as much as you're eating right now. We're listening to our body. We are eating when we feel satisfied, not when we're rolling on the floor and stuffed full. We're not having 10 billion snacks throughout the day. We're organizing our food with some structure and intention. You can't do that. Move your body if you want to. You don't have to exercise, but you can do that if you want to. And then find that you either don't lose any weight, or you end up gaining weight. That's not possible. What I said, the example that just popped into my mind and what I said to her was, it's like pouring water out of a glass and finding that it goes skywards instead of down. It's impossible. It's impossible for you to do the right thing and get a wrong result. So with that in mind, I want to share, again, just a brief outline of the eating codes with you today because they're so beneficial. And as I say, kyliepax.com/free course is where you're going to get them all in detail, like the exact steps and how I use them to shed the 20 kilos and restore my hormone health and all of that. But I will just run through them very briefly today so that you can get an idea and perhaps enough to get a kickstart over the coming week. So there are 5 eating codes. There are 5. Let me list them out for you. The first one is eat when you're hungry and don't eat when you're not. The second eating code is decide what it is that you want to eat. Now, I'll explain all of these in a second. I just want to lay them out for you first. The third eating code is about tuning in and not using food as a way to tune out of your body. Oh, I think I just messed that up. The third eating code is about being satisfied and not stuffed. Eating to satisfied and not stuffed. The fourth eating code is tuning in and not using food as a way to tune out of your body. And the fifth eating code, which is my favorite, it's always been my favorite. The third one and the fifth one are my favorites, and I'll tell you why. The fifth eating code is act like the person that you want to become. If you listen to everything I say and you just think, what did Kylie say? Like, I can't remember, something about codes and like she's eating codes and listening to your body, and I don't know. All you have to do is remember eating code number 5. Act like the person you want to become. When all else fails, you simply run the decision that you're thinking of making around food. Like, should I eat this or should I not? You just need to think about yourself at that place in time where you are 20, 30, 40, 50 kilos lighter, and ask yourself, if I were already in the body that I want to be in, would I eat this now? Would I? Like, would I truly be stuffing my face with this much chips, chocolate cake, pizza, ice cream? Would I be doing that? The answer, I fucking guarantee you, is probably going to be no. So let me run through these eating codes for you. And as I say, I can't not say this to you. KyliePax.com/free course. It's where you're going to get everything that you need, including the booklet, to like lay it out for you. Like, it's really literally weight loss for dummies. And the reason I say that is because if I can do it, then any of your smart ones out there can do it. So eating code number 1 is eat when you're hungry and don't eat when you're not. And it sounds so simplistic on paper, but it's earth-shatteringly difficult when we have never been taught to do this in our lives. We are taught from babies, it's breakfast time, now you need to eat. It's lunchtime, eat now. Especially if you're a grown-ass adult and you're working in an industry where you don't get to have your meal times at your chosen time of pleasure. No. I always worked in different industries where I was on some kind of roster and I had to eat when the boss fucking told me I could eat. Not when my body was hungry, not when it was starving. No, I literally didn't have a choice. I had to eat when the boss said I could eat, and I had a short period of time to eat, and it was all monitored. So this eating code, whilst it sounds really easy, can often be quite challenging. It's beautiful to start this perhaps over a weekend or when you have time off, and you can start listening to your body from the time you wake up in the morning and decide, well, okay, at 7 a.m. I would normally just eat my Wheat Bix now. Are you actually fucking hungry, or are you just eating because the hands on the clock are pointed in a certain direction? Like, that is some kind of special insanity there. You want to listen to your body and listen for the signs of hunger before you actually eat. And when I first started using this eating code, I'll tell you right now, because I used to have my breakfast like at the time that I was told to eat it. But when I started using this first eating code, I realized I quite often was not hungry till 10 or 11 or even 11:30 a.m. So you really want to tune into that, and don't put food in your mouth before you're physically hungry. Now, here's what will happen when you start implementing this code. First up, this still annoys me to this day. You'll walk past food, you see food, someone else is eating food, somebody's talking about food, and suddenly they offer you food and you think, yeah, that would be good. If you check in with your body, you're probably not hungry. You're eating because of any one of those reasons that I just mentioned, but you're certainly not eating because you're fucking hungry. Right there is a whole bunch of calories that are about to go and land on your thighs that if you were really paying attention to your body, you wouldn't be eating. So this is the first eating code. The second eating code number 2, is deciding what it is that you want to eat. Now, I think I mentioned this last week. I'm just going to grab my plan here. This is one of the books that comes in my F to Scale weight loss course, right? But you will get an abridged version of this in the free course. KyliePax.com/free course. You will get an abridged version of this. So you can just use this straight away to start figuring out all 5 eating codes and losing weight right now, literally within the hour. It's that fucking fast. So I use my journal here to figure out what it is that I'm going to eat for the day. So let me show you. Here's the last couple of days of plans. So you can see these here. If you are listening on the podcast, you're not going to see a damn thing. But if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see these. And what I do is I figure out what I'm going to have for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. And I do this first thing in the morning. I don't do it in the middle of the day. I don't do it last thing at night when I come home and I've already halfway been eating through the day and I'm tired. I do it first thing in the morning. And the reason this is so critically important to do in the morning is because 6 a.m. version of you gives a shit about your well-being, your health, your weight loss, and your goals. 6 p.m. at night version of you, she doesn't give a rat's ass. She's tired. She's exhausted from the day. She's probably got a flat tire. The boss is an asshole, like fighting with a partner or a colleague or a friend. The children are acting up and she just wants to eat. The benefit of following eating code number 2 and planning what it is that you're going to eat in the morning is that you now have not only freed up a whole ton of brain space, because so many of my clients are like, I am tired of thinking about food all day long. I'm telling you, follow eating code number 2. Once you have written it down, you literally don't have to think about food again for the whole day because it's done. You've decided. The decision has been made. So now anybody that comes up and offers you the donuts, cake, cookie, pizza, ice cream, you're like, oh no, I'm good, thank you. I'm good. That was not on my plan. I don't need it. I don't want it. I'm only considering it because it got plonked its ass down in front of me and I think, ooh, that looks good. Now, here's what you can tell yourself, because you're probably thinking, but Kylie, it does look good and I do. And now that I've seen it, I really want it. I tell myself that was not on my plan. 6 a.m. version of me didn't care about Krispy Kremes. She didn't care. I wasn't thinking about that today. I had my goals in mind. If I really, really, really wake up tomorrow morning in deep regret that I didn't eat the Krispy Kreme, I'll put one on my plan for tomorrow. That's fine. But for now, I'm going to stick to what I had planned. The other thing that this second eating code does, and using this planner, is that it starts building a level of self-trust that we simply don't have with our bodies right now. And here's what I mean by that. How many times have you promised yourself, today's the day, I'm going to get my shit together, I'm going to do this amazing plan, I'm really going to control myself around food, I'm going to lose this weight. And within 1, 2, 3, or 6 hours, you're stuffing your face with something, who cares, anything, like we just said, Krispy Kremes, because you just saw it, or you were upset, or you feel emotional, or you got your period, whatever is going on. But it certainly was not the promise that you made to yourself first thing that morning when you opened your little peepers and got out of bed. We have once again broken a promise to ourselves, and our brain simply does not trust us around food anymore. That's why you hear yourself saying lame-ass statements like, once I start, I can't stop. If I open a bag of chips, I have to finish it. Once I start the chocolate, I can't say no. All of it is bullshit stories in your head. It's not true. It's not a thing. You know how I can tell you it's not a thing? Because if I came and held a gun to your head, how fucking quickly do you think you would be able to stop eating the chocolate or close that packet of chips? Pretty darn quickly. You can stop. But right now, you're just in fuck it mode and you are breaking your promises to yourself over and over and over. So now you're at a point where you feel like, I can't even have that food in the house. Oh no, of course you fucking can't, because you don't trust yourself anymore. Eating code number 2 is going to fix that for you. The third eating code is satisfied, not stuffed. Now, how this works, this is the weight loss code. This code is the magic weight loss code. I swear. Like, if you're going to follow any one of the codes, you want to follow this one. Eating code number 3 is satisfied, not stuffed. And the way it works and what it means is that you are going to eat until your hunger has just gone away. Because first of all, remember the first eating code, you're only eating when you're hungry. Second of all, when you do eat, you're eating what you have planned that morning to eat. And it doesn't have to be Brussels sprouts and lettuce leaves. It can be KFC and a chocolate donut. It can be those things. But because you've got to start where you're at, right? It's important to start where you're at. But you're only going to eat it when you're hungry. And secondly, you're only going to eat it until you feel just that you've had enough. Not till you're stuffed full. Or not till you feel like, oh, I've messed it up now, so I'll just keep going. No, that's no longer a thing. Eating code number 2 takes care of all that. So I want you to imagine a scale, and I'm not talking about bathroom scales. I'm talking about, imagine a straight line on a piece of paper, and the line starts at 1, it finishes at number 10. Number 5, which would be smack in the middle, is where you're going to stop eating. Now, here's what I mean by that. If number 1 on this scale is I am so hangry I could gnaw my own arm off, and number 10 is my toes are numb, I can't even feel my legs anymore, I've eaten a Christmas meal, 5 is right in the middle. 5 is where you are no longer hungry, but you are not full yet either. This is the magic weight loss zone. When you master this eating code, weight literally starts dripping off of your body, because that's what's happening to me again right now. I'm back in weight loss mode because, as you know, I've spoken about this for so many weeks, gained that fucking weight because of the Mirena, and I am back in weight loss mode. So I'm following these codes like a hawk, and the weight is dripping off my body. Every day I get up, and I only weigh myself on the scales once a week, but I use a measuring tape to measure my progress throughout the days of the week, and it just goes down day after day after day. It's going down. So I know these work. I know that because I'm shrinking. So I can tell you with all assurance they work. The 4th eating code is about tuning in and not using food as a way to tune out of your body. Now, this would look more like you sitting with those feelings of discomfort that arise periodically when, let's say, you've eaten half a block of chocolate, but the voice all up in your head going, well, you should just finish the other half. If you finish the other half, it won't be there tomorrow to haunt you. You now have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to either eat the remaining chocolate just to tune out the negotiation and drama in your head, or you get to sit with those feelings of discomfort, knowing that any feeling only has a 90-second lifespan in our body. And you might now be thinking, well, Kylie, I've had feelings that have lasted for longer than 90 seconds. Of course you have. We do when we keep thinking about the cause of the feeling, which would be, I feel uncomfortable, I feel agitated, I feel this craving. As long as we keep focusing on it, we're going to keep feeling it, because the chemicals will continue to be released into our bloodstream and the whole cycle will start again. But you have a few choices here at eating code number 4. When we talk about tuning in and not tuning out, you can, of course, so the easy choice for any of us is always going to be just eat the damn food. It's easy in the moment, but it's so torturous when you wake up the next day and you think, fuck, like I broke my promises to myself again. I went against my best interests again. Like, those are the things that really start chipping away at your self-esteem. Then we wonder why we don't love ourselves and all of this stuff. It's because it starts first and foremost with you being a woman of your word. I will 100% back myself with that. The minute you start being a woman of your word, the whole game changes. So the next eating code is eating code number 5. Act like the person you want to become. Now, I will just say on eating code number 4, if we go back for 1 second, something that I find very helpful when you are sitting with feelings of discomfort because you have seen some food or you've started eating some food and you know you've had enough, but you feel like you want to keep eating more. Just an exercise that's really helpful to ground you and bring you back to yourself is just to place your hand on your heart. Place your hand on your heart and tell yourself that you are loved and you are safe. And I will just literally say it over and over to myself. I am safe, I am protected, and I am loved. This is my mantra, just those 3 words, because I don't want to bore you with the backstory of why I've chosen those 3 little sentences, but each one does trigger a certain image and feeling for me. When I say I'm safe, I literally feel like, yeah, God's got me. He's got my back. I'm safe. Everything is okay. When I say the words I'm protected, I actually envisage like enormous angels, like with their swords of flame standing around me. I'm protected. I am protected in all realms and I am loved. You can't be separated from the ultimate love of this universe. I am safe in that way. So that is really, really helpful just to help you get through those little cravings as well. Now, eating code number 5, act like the person you want to become. This is a life-changing code. Life-changing. Let me give you an example that's rolled out in my life recently. I joined the gym in January of this year. I joined the gym for the first time. Well, definitely not for the first time. I've joined gyms multiple times over the course of my life and I've always dropped off and opted out because I'm not, well, what I used to say was I'm not a gym girl. I don't like the gym. And I didn't like those gyms. All the different ones I've tried, they were not for me. They just weren't. But I've now found one that I feel very comfortable in. It works for me. It's literally 60 seconds from my house. I could walk there. It's so convenient, clean, and lovely. I just love it. So as a Virgo neat freak, it ticks all the boxes for me there. As well as that, it has like a really friendly bunch of clientele. Like there's a whole heap of more, I'm going to say more mature members, but what I mean when I say that is old people. Like a lot of elderly people go there. I'm talking people definitely 75 and over. And it's so inspiring. There's a particular old lady, she would have to be in her 90s, and she comes in with her little cardigan and her pearls and her lipstick is on, and she gets her butt on the treadmill and she walks slow. Mind you, this woman's not a speed racer. She's slow as anything, but she's there. She's showing up. So I joined this gym and I thought, this is fantastic. I'm going to become a gym girl. And I went for the first 30 days. In fact, I went for 40 days and I didn't lose one skerrick of weight. Now, I know now that that was because I had just had my Mirena removed and it was taking time for my body, the hormones and everything to start, they were being manipulated when I had the Mirena in. Now I needed to wait for them to realign and readjust and do whatever the fuck they needed to do so that my body could operate on its own standards and precedents again. And that ended up taking 40 days, but I hadn't figured that out at the time. I just thought, what the hell is going on? I was going to the gym daily. I was working my ass off for a good hour and a half, 2 hours, and I wasn't losing any weight. I decided, in the spirit of eating code number 5, act like the person you want to become. I thought, I will not be beaten by this. If I have to go to the gym every day until I breathe my last breath and I don't lose 1 microgram of weight, I will be showing up here because I will not be beaten. I'm just simply not going to lay down and play dead. Like, this isn't important to me. If I never lose weight, so fucking be it, but I will not stop trying. And I showed up. You know what happened on day 41? The weight started coming off. That was about the time I figured out, fuck, this must have been the Mirena the whole time. But what was happening during that 40 days was I was building a strength of character, will, and tenacity that has now seen me through since then. So I was going to the gym at about 2 p.m. Then I thought, nah, this is some bullshit. I should go in the morning. Like, I think I'll feel better going in the morning and getting that done, and then I can get on with my day. So then I went at 8 a.m. Then I decided to go at 7 a.m. Then I thought, I'm going to go to the gym at 6 a.m. And I did, and that was great. And after a few weeks, I thought to myself, you know what, this is too easy now. I need to continue to challenge myself. So I'm currently going to the gym at 5 a.m., which means I've got to get up about 4:15. And I'm doing it. And I'm not complaining because actually I love it. Now here's the thing. You're all thinking, what the fuck is wrong with this woman? Does anybody love getting up at 4:15, 4 o'clock, 4:30? No, nobody loves that. That's some serious bullshit. But what I love is the fact that I'm callousing my mind, that whiny little bitch voice in there that's like, don't do that, I don't want to do that. That's not good, you should just stay here where it's cozy and warm. Fuck that shit. I am building a mindset that is unstoppable, and as I've seen them say online, it's unfuckwithable. I will not be fucked with by anyone, most of all, my own self. So my darlings, that's a very brief and abridged version of the eating codes. If you want to know the full intricacies, the ins and outs, and the plan of exactly how to apply them to your life, head on over kyliepax.com. You know what I'm going to say. /free course. You will find the 4-part free video series is waiting there for you. And as always, if you have any questions that you want to send through, you can email them to hello@kyliepax.com or drop into my inbox on Insta. You will always find me over there. Please remember, the only person that has the power to change your life is you. When you are sitting back, listening to your own disempowering stories or listening to the disempowering stories that somebody else is telling you about you, because we often have that. Our parents will tell us, oh, we don't do that. We're not like that. No, you're fucking how you decide to be. Don't worry about what they've decided is okay for their life. You are as good as you decide to be. And when you can really grasp that mindset, that is when you've got what it takes. I'm sending you tremendous amounts of love. I will see you again next week. Until then, gorgeous ones, have an incredible week. Love you so much. Bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to shimmy your butt over to kyliepax.com/free course and sign up for my free weight loss training so you can start losing your weight now. You'll also find helpful notes and resources in my past podcasts that will help you lose your weight without the BS diet drama. I'll see you next week.